Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Nicole Atherton here with the last bit of my Week in the Life album for 2017, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I've already printed my photos upon which I have written my journaling, and for this particular photo I added a digital brush. I have 6 photos, 6 4x6s, so I'm going to make extra pages by adhering them together and just having them outside of the page protector. I use the holes in the page protectors themselves to figure out where the holes should be based on where I want it to hang in the rings. And then I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers punch there to punch the holes. And as embellishment, I'm putting on these perforated word strips, getting down to the very end almost. I'm sure I'll have enough. And adhering that down. At this stage in the project, I am just going through the same formula, not thinking too much, just plugging and chugging, because it is such a large volume of photos and words and journaling that if I didn't have this system, I would be quite easily overwhelmed. So keeping it simple works for me for this particular project. I'm using the stamp set that came in the Week in the Life kit to stamp on this Avery index tab, which I tend to put on my inserts in between, like, the ones that aren't in a page protector. Not really finding a ton of things that apply here. I did a lot of work this week, and so some of the stamp sets and word phrases didn't really apply, but I found something and made it work. Okay, that one's done. I have 4 more photos, so I have enough for one more for outside of the page protector page. These 2 I'm going to fit directly into the page protector themselves, so I'm just doing my embellishment with the word strips. The other embellishments that I use are the word phrase stickers. There's like a word phrase bundle that was sold kind of at the same time as the Week in the Life kit, and also the white flag labels. I toyed with the idea of using one of those chipboards. I do love those chipboards, but I didn't have a lot of space because my album is tending to be very word and photo heavy. So these are those phrase stickers that I mentioned earlier. All right, that looks good in there. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, because if I punch holes where I need to punch holes, I'm going to go right through the journaling. So I rearranged the ones that I wanted to be in the page protectors and which ones I wanted to be outside the page protectors based on the location of the journaling. I've to this point tried to do the 4x6s and then the 3x4s in chronological order. But, I put the time on everything, so I should, if people are looking at it and they want to know, they can look at the time. But then I was like, oh man, now what am I going to do? Because that journaling is exactly on the, in the holes. So I printed a new one and finally figured it out, so that my holes don't punch through journaling. Took me a couple tries, but I finally got it. And you'll see here again the Avery index tabs, putting evening on this side, and hard on the other side. Hard because those vending machines ended up being where my dinner came from that particular day. And on the back is a bunch of lead aprons that are hanging in the surgeon's lounge. And I was still there at like, I don't know, 10 or 11 at night. Anyway. I found that to really get a good tear on these perforated word strips, I have to bend them back like 3-4 times to really get that crease going, and then they tear off pretty easily. Okay, moving on to the 3x4 page, and I am adhering the rubber circle embellishment to the outside of the page protector for a little dimension, which I tend to like to do in my smaller albums. And I chose the car, not because I did a lot of driving today. I mean, I guess I kind of did, but most of the time I associate cars like that with a commute, work, so I did a lot of work that day. Embellishing each photo again with either the perforated word strips, one of these labels, or those phrase stickers. And then the last 3 photos for the day go here. Again, sticking with the same formula. And this one, I liked that particular phrase sticker, but it was quite long. So I chose to put it on foam adhesive and adhere that one to the outside of the page. Trying to line it up exactly. Okay. So here's Thursday, or sorry, this is Friday, actually. And I will do a little flip through here. And then we will move on to Saturday. Oops, I changed my mind. I tend to do that. All right, next up, Saturday. Okay, got my page protectors now, got my photos ready to go. Today I have 4 4x6 photos, and so I will have 1 extra photo page. So I'll start with that. Making sure, I learned my lesson, that I line up and choose the right photos so that my holes don't go through the journaling. It takes me a while to learn those kinds of lessons, but eventually I get it. Choosing one of these labels. And I took a photo of those pictures that hang around the hospital because they're so beautiful, and they are actually photographs that are taken by current or past members of the medical staff or the people who work there. And it was, I mean, they're great. So often when I'm walking through the hallways, I stop or slow down my pace so that I can enjoy them a little bit, especially when I'm having a stressful day. Pretending I'm somewhere else. You know what I mean? Okay, making my page there. It all works out with the journaling. Yay! I find it's easier to put these little marks on them and then figure out where they go instead of holding it onto the page protector and using the actual hole as a guide, because it's slippery and I don't know, it slides and then the holes go in the wrong spot, so I tend to write on the picture with a Sharpie and then punch the holes out that way. All right, I put our weekend on for that one because our weekend was spent partially at work for me and totally at work for Tracy. And then my afternoon was pretty much spent by taking a nap on the couch, which sucked because, well, I mean, I needed it, but I really wanted to scrapbook, but my body was telling me otherwise. Okay, moving on to the 3x4 pockets now. And I'm using the home icon rubber piece on this one because I did spend most of the day at home recovering from the night before. And then I realized, oh yeah, I forgot to put those word phrases on there and stuff. So I went back to my extra page and I did my embellishing. Trying to think of what I could use. Again, I had so much work going on. This week I kind of ran out of work kinds of stuff. So I can't remember what I chose. I think I put our story. Okay, now really moving on to the 3x4s. Surveying the word phrase stickers to see if there's anything that would work. So I'd love to hear, if you guys are still watching, what do you do when you have a big project like this and it can easily get overwhelming? Like, how do you handle the amount of work that's involved? Obviously, my approach is fairly simple. I mean, but I would love to hear what you guys do. So leave some comments and maybe we can exchange ideas. But remember that one time on me making the bed, because I didn't actually talk about me making the bed. I talked about the chandelier and why we don't have a ceiling fan in there anymore because of my cat, and her brain's a little broken and she's afraid of the ceiling fan, so we had to take it out, and poor thing. Found one of the food phrase stickers that, oh actually no, that one that just says the story. I swear I did not squirt the ketchup out in a happy face. It just came out that way. And it was the end of the bottle, so it was like... Alright. And the last one. Looking for a sticker. I don't know why the camera is moving around like that, and I'm really sorry about that. I'll try to figure it out and not make you guys seasick. Okay. So, I'm going to go get the album, put everything in there. Okay, here's Saturday. Okay, so last day, Sunday. And I apologize for the shadows, but I actually did this at like 5:15 in the morning. So I had almost no sunlight from the outside and just the one that's overhead. So there's a shadow. I'm sorry, but I needed to get this project done. I'm sure you can empathize with me there. Another work day for me. Um, and so I have four by six photos, and based on where the journaling is, I am going to um, select the ones that I want to be outside the page protector, and then go through and punch my holes as I have been doing. Okay. Standard embellishments. It's getting to be a routine now. Also, at this point in the project, I'm like kind of tired of the supplies and I'm tired of what I'm doing, and I'm like, okay, let's go so I can move on to something different. Um, I just want it to be done. So I have a love-hate relationship with Week in the Life. I love the final product, but it is a ton of work. And yeah, by the time I get to Friday, Saturday, Sunday for sure, I'm just like, okay, I'm done. Definitely feeling that way. Am I the only one? I hope not. It sounds kind of dumb and childish, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's what creative people feel. Okay, we got real life and today's stories on the Avery Index tab. Going to adhere that down and move on to the 3x4 page. Oops, forgot to embellish the side. I couldn't actually take a lot of photos on this day because of the thing that I had going on at work. So what I had, I was with my coworkers, and I asked them to send me photos of the day, and so several of the photos that I've used on Sunday I didn't actually take. So it's nice when people help you out like that. And I work with an amazing group of people, so they're very happy to help. Love dimension, love putting things on foam dots, but I don't want to overdo it, so I do maybe a couple each day. Okay, so moving on, putting on the rubber embellishment. The only one that I had left was the one with the knife, the spoon, and the fork, which didn't fit at all. And if you saw my overview video, you heard me talking that I actually bought two kits on accident. So I just busted out the one I hadn't really been using and found a book because, I mean, I wasn't reading necessarily, but it's the closest one that looked like work, and we were looking at words a lot today, so I chose that one. Okay. Want to get this to be exactly the length of the journaling there. So I cut the star off so that it was actually long enough. And I'm struggling here because I'm trying to cover up the fire extinguisher or the fire alarm pull in the background because it's really annoying red color. But if I do that, then it's too close to the words. So I futzed around with that for a minute or two. And I remembered that in one of these phrase stickers, there's a coworker one and something else. So I had like a 13 or 14-hour workday today, so lots of work pictures, not a lot of home pictures. I've used up a good amount of these perforated word strips, and I really enjoy them. I think I'm probably going to use most of them, if not all of them, because they're very universal. I'm looking for, I think, the one that says coworkers. Yep, found that one. All right, and I did finish off the album with a ending page. So if you hang out until the end of these still photos, you will have a chance to see that. So here's Week in the Life 2017. It's all done. Thank you for coming by and checking out what I did. I would love to hear from you, have comments or suggestions or anything like that. I know your crafting time is very precious, and I appreciate the time that you spent here with me today. So until the next time, happy crafting. Take care.